Captain's log supplemental. Stardate 0212202019.3. Starship Excelsior's log NCC 77246. So I have a couple quick updates for you all before I get into Guild Wars 2 tonight. Yes, I'm wearing an actual clean shirt and a pair of jammies with a giant hole in it. So here's the update for you all. Yes, I know I'm waiting for my other jammies to be clean. I got like 4 loads of laundry and and I have about $70 in quarters to get them all done. But enough about that. So a couple things. Found my hearing aid, by the way. Thanks. I always keep my hearing aid in this case, and I needed to put it in today, and I was like, so a couple updates for you. So advocates both emailed me. Funny story. So I emailed them this afternoon. I call it this morning because I haven't been up too late. And one of my advocates turned around and she said, "Hey Rita, I didn't want to say anything, but you kind of smelled funny when I saw you. Were you okay?" And I go, "I haven't had a bath in like 6 days, my dear sister." And she's like, "You need to consult with me. You need to take a bath more." Well, I said, "Well, look. When you got someone who takes the bath every time you're getting ready to do it, you can't do anything." So today I'm walking along, like I said, I went to, Chloe had an outburst, screamed in the streets, made threats against everyone. And I'm walking along, and I get into the pharmacy, and this lady's like, "Yeah, it's over there." I'm like, "Okay." So I go to the gas station when my friend says, "Well, you smell kind of ripe," and I'm like, everywhere I went. So I finally, on my way home, looked at Chloe. "Oh, look at the little bunny." So we have a calendar on the wall here that you can't see, but it's on the wall. I got tigers on one calendar, and that one there this month is bunnies. I love bunnies. Bunnies are cute. So anyways, what happened was I finally got a bath. I took everything organized, did my video first, and then that. So emailed the advocates, and I let the advocates know. I said, "Yeah, we had a couple roadblocks. You told me contact you." My second advocate told me contact her as soon as we got done with Chloe's mom. So we get done, and I messaged her. The second advocate didn't do too well. She's like, "Did you email advocate 1?" I call advocate 1 and 2 because they don't want they like my channel, but they don't want me to give their names. So anyways, what happened was they conversed in an email, and by the time I got out of the tub, checked my messages, advocate 2 is still working right now. She said, "Look, Rita, I would love to basically contact Chloe's mom on your behalf, but technically I can't unless I violate protocols, would protect you and protect your family. And your family's protected too because, we're all a big, happy family, basically trying to protect you. And yet I can't violate or etc." So anywho, so what happened was she turned around and she says, "Advocate 1's willing to do it, but Advocate 1 has to do it in the 2nd to 3rd week of March. By the time you get this whole Social Security thing ironed out, you can pack her up then and ship her out. You might need a lot of extra help since you have to go see a doctor in March, but when you're done." So I said, "Well, I guess it's God's will, or something, but you know how it is." So she's like, "Look, I like Advocate 1's answers. We're not here to provide financial aid to ship some freeloading mooch off. You're willing to pay it, but no one's basically giving you an answer." I said, "Well," "I'm at fault for that." And advocate said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I should have listened to my cousin-in-law because she turned around and said, 'Look, you're stuck with her.'" Advocate says, "Well, we got 2 ways of Operation Deport. Operation Deport 1 is, as she called it, is basically buying the ticket, shipping her out. Now, mom doesn't take her. Then mom can turn around and attack me for kicking her out of the house without warrant because she's got a house to live in. Or Operation Boot Out, which is a restraining order, which is highly unlikely. Now, that's the route I won't go yet, but, it might get there because I don't want to lose my home, but I also My advocate said, look, we'd have to get in touch with your lawyer. Again, his name's Brendan. Cute guy, by the way. He's gay. And Brandon was the most nicest. I think he might have been a trans man, but anyway, you look at it, he was cute. And, the point is he basically, I got in touch with him. I told him what happened. He's like, yeah, the only way you can do anything is Operation Boot Out, which means the restraining order, but that's the last straw. Now, shipping her out would be better off, but the problem is, and here's what the advocates are emailing me about, is your old mom decided to call Advocate 1 and lambaste her, basically. Advocate 1 was like, look, I don't know what type of benefits I can provide your child, but I can't provide zip, zap, zilch. And the advocate's like, look, Rita's offered a ticket. You just don't want her to get home because you don't want to deal with the rage. I mean, look, you basically know how bad she is. You basically didn't even fight her to keep her there. You basically had her board a freaking train and let her go home. Grandparents allowed it. You, of course, claimed that, you had a room set up. A room. Well, lo and behold, shit hit the fan, and, well, it's not good. So then the advocate said, what do you intend for me to do for you? Lo and behold, the advocate wants freaking answers. And she gets, well, I want you to buy my kid a ticket home. You guys are resourceful, aren't you? You guys are social workers, aren't you? Lo and behold. So her mom comes out, right? So Advocate 2 messages me and says, yeah, I should have known. Your family's completely right. You can't trust her. You can't trust her either when she won't give you an answer about moving her out. By the way, I'm just checking email because I got some email messages. I got an order coming in. Yay! I got a couple videos I need to watch. I also got to go through my email address eventually. That's the real funny thing, and I hate these free ads from Gmail. I mean, come on. I mean, just, can't they take the ads that you get? See, as everyone knows, Google watches you. So Google sits there and sees what you watch on Google searches, and then they try to sell you these products through Google sales or whatever. And it's like, I don't want to buy this crap. I'm not the type that wants to buy this crap. So anyway, what happened was, jokingly aside, the advocate said, look, I offered to Arizona if we can pull it off. But my advocates and my bosses say, no, let Rita do it and we'll reimburse her. Unfortunately, you're basically just saying, well, one wrong move and she's out. She can't behave herself. And the advocate's like, if she behaved herself, we wouldn't have this problem. But no, you keep basically putting it, So the mom turned around and said, look, state law, this law, that law, I know how to circumvent it. I have connections everywhere. So, you might as well just let her live there. And she's like, I'm not letting her tear Rita down. Literally, Rita is not going to be torn down. So the advocate 2 said, look, she wants the number, right, to talk to Advocate 2, and Advocate 2 told Advocate 1, I can't allow that because flat out, right, if they call, they don't know who my advocate is, who the head honcho is, or anything. Now, if my family contacted her on any course of action, she can only talk on the action if I was signed a release, which I believe I did, but it expired, so, but I wouldn't care if they, one of my family members called. My thing is the advocate's like, look, we got to protect you, but to do that, we have to have a protected grid style thing. If Chloe comes in for this phone call, which now we know the phone call is all about keeping Chloe here, mom, So we turned around and what we did was we basically said to the Advocate 1, said Operation deport, evict, or boot out would be a restraining order. Dear old mom says you would go to that extreme. She's like, look, the lady is going to get, the lady, apparently dear old mom wants to say their son, wants to get Rita evicted because either it's a vengeful tact and then she can run home, or it's you don't want to deal with what she's become. And I mean, literally. So anyways, the other news piece is I forgot to tell you all, is the adjuster contacted me about Social Security. And I explained, everything, what's going on and why we're planning things and stuff. And she said, okay, good to know. Now, Chloe apparently got through the system and somehow, and her mom found out who she was. And she called. And we had like a long chat with her. And she's like, what you're dealing with is two narcissists. One can work, the other one's basically trapped in her own juices and, is miserable. Talking about Chloe. And she's like, what you're having is a lot of problems. And so, because of it, and I said, lady, now that I got you on the phone and on the same page, I'd like to tell you. And I told her about the Uncle Donnie situation. She's like, when did that stop? Well, a long time ago when Uncle Jack stepped in to intervene. Otherwise, Chloe goes in, as everyone knows, runs through the grocery line. And I'm sitting there holding a basket, and she said, how much was it? I said, about $50. I'm like, a little under 50. She's like, you could tell on the voice, on the phone, talking to her that she was disgusted because I had my advocates contact her on my behalf on the grounds that they're working with me, because of this whole financial thing, and I said, look, I'm willing to send Chloe home. She's like, please don't do that till at least after the case has been closed. And I'm like, we don't even know if she's going to be approved. She says, sounds like Chloe's severely bad. And from what I understand from mom's side, I didn't have a release, but she gave the information freely. And Grandpa gave information. I mean, the entire family compiled so much. It wasn't like, oh, Rita's bad, Rita's bad. It's like, look, my kid has all these problems. And if you give them any funding, you need to make sure someone can balance it properly. Otherwise, they're going to spend it foolishly. Well, Chloe doesn't know this, but the advocates, they represent me, and they're just like, yeah, you're basically, it's complicated, but it's funny because Chloe's always talking about, you take this. Like today, I mean, let me tell you a story I forgot to mention in my previous video, okay? She's making threats. I go to the store, right? I'm coming home from the store, and I'm taking the scenic route, this, and looking at the ferry and doing that, looking at boats and doing this, and I hear, and I wasn't actually carrying the cart this time. The one my cousin got me. I love that little cart. I keep looking at the wheels, wondering if it's going to fall off one day, or they're going to go so bald that they're going to be nothing but little, nubs. So I was sitting there, and she's like, oh, yeah, once we get our disability. I turned to her. I literally turned to her from I said, I stopped, and she went past me, and then I looked, and I was like, so you think you're going to get on disability? She says, oh, yeah, my mental disability, I'm so disabled. I go, right out of my mouth, I said, you're now basically at what they call BPD split. She says, I don't know what you're talking about. And you split, and now your personality is stable. And you're telling me, oh, yeah, that's like multiple personality type thing. And now you're cool with, you want to move me out of this shithole Pacific Northwest. And I'm sitting there going, literally, I'm walking along, and I finally opened my mouth, and out came like the sword of justice. And I said, I don't want you around me. You basically can't do your fucking chores, let alone fucking listen to me. I said I needed to get a couple items at the store. You basically skipped it, went in there before me, and then want to go to another store. I said, I know where the best deals are for the freaking month. Of course, you guys know what happened. Sent her out. Basically, I sent her out, and I haven't even got game time in yet, which will be soon because I need to game soon. But that keeps my mind comfort level good. But my point is, it's just funny. I told Chloe, many times, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. Now if my family, okay, as my advocate said, because my advocate gets reports from other people around the buildings, because they have like an inside connection. It's like what they call like a gatekeeper program. If Chloe makes a mistake or yells or screams, these gatekeepers that are hidden basically report to the advocates what's going on, what threats, etc. They make a note of it, and it goes into a special log for apparently law enforcement. But Chloe's always paranoid. Oh, you sure it's coming back to me? Or you'll sit there, right? And all of a sudden she'll panic and be like, "Oh, the federal government's after me." And I go, like she thinks the FBI or the NSA or the CIA or the Secret Service or whatever's after her. And I go, "You're fucking paranoid and delusional, man. Yeah, how much ganja have you smoked this week? How much meth have you smoked? Maybe you have some crack. Maybe you're smoking coke, Anyways. So basically, this one guy turned around and he's like talking about love today. He's a pothead. He's gay. And he's like, "If you just break down your wall, Chloe, and let love in, you'd be a better person." And Chloe's like, and he's looking at me and I'm like, I'm going to get my errands done. He's like, "I hope you're doing okay, Rita, sweetie." And he's gay. And I'm like, "I'm good. Thank you." And I ran into him. He's like, "You okay?" Because he found me in downtown. I go, "Ugh. I didn't want a cup of coffee." "Oh, no, I got stuff to do." And he's like, "How's your bunny?" And I go, "My bunny's great. My little boon, he's great." But anyways, so there's all these inner circles, right? And the advocates are kind of getting weirded out because she's not only made threats against, like everyone knows, the APS lady, but federal agents against today, local law enforcement today. The threats keep getting stacked up. I'm not going to go into details, but, my viewers know exactly what type of threats she makes. Hell, I've even written many times over to my cousin-in-law with threats, I even reported threats, okay? And one time my cousin told me I was crazy. So they don't even care anymore. It's like, "Oh, Chloe making threats again. You suicidal?" "No, I'm right now." "Okay, see you later." My advocates asked them outside once, the sheriff. He's like, "Well, we don't really want to deal with her." Oh, so my cousin's completely right. Literally. I feel bad, that I didn't listen to my cousin, because my cousin's right, literally. She's like, "Look, no one wants to deal with the fucking shit brains. The BB, the blood-sucking son of a goat." So something like that, something like this, but yeah, she's right. I'm the only one that cares enough, and I just want out, and, people say, "Oh, the only way you're getting out is death." Well, guess what? I'm not the suicidal type to go and get rid of my life, because my family would be royally PO'd that I had to use suicide, quote unquote, as a backdoor escape to get rid of someone. There's other options. My advocate said, before I do any of that, get that load. And one of my advocates made a joke and said, "Look, I consider you extended family. You're like sister to me. Anytime you're basically feeling this way, contact me and I will make sure you get the proper treatment and we will get Chloe out. But I don't want to basically invoke that just because of that and then throw Chloe out while you're in the hospital." We could do that, but that would not be pretty. And, so I have all these people looking out for me. And she's like, "Look, you have the resources. You like helping out the locals. I hear nothing but good people talking about you around the thing." The lady with the brown service dog, she came into my store the other day and bought a second captain's cat. Can you believe that? "Oh, she's great. She says she loves buying local." Another lady said, "Yeah, she came into our coffee shop twice. It's not as good as her favorite coffee shop, but they weren't open." Another one said, she likes the coffee, but she doesn't like the breakfast. Oh, another one said, "Oh, she always comes in for the omelets." My advocate says you made a name for, you're giving a generous tip and you never basically complain. You're like, people ask, "How are you doing?" "Oh, I can't complain." Or someone else, "Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Doesn't this look pitiful? Doesn't this look like poor man's jammies? At least my legs are shaved." My family, my extended family, etc. All my family, in the entire extended family, you can pick your family, but you can't, you can dislike your blood family, they say, but you can pick your family. So to me, my family would be happy to report that I'm clean, including my cooter. As my family would say, "Your cooter smells." And yeah, it did. It was reeking. Chloe was sitting there over by the blue chair over there, and she's like, "Rita, you need a bath." I'm going, "Well, that's because between my cooter and the giant slit hole that's like this big, where it just shows my underwear, with my pants." I said, "It stinks." She's like, if your family was around, they'd be basically complaining you're having a bath. I said, my family plunked me in their damn tub as fast as they could if I smelled that bad. I mean, literally. And like I said this morning, I told the advocate, I said, I was getting ready for your appointment. She said, what happened? Got out of bed, looked at the clock, figured I could wash up real quick and get out, right? Just run out the door, all washed up, my face cleaned up and everything, be a blessed, gray-haired woman. And she said, so what happened, hon? And I said, well, sis, lo and behold, Chloe took to the bathroom. I got to wash my face. I need to do my makeup. Finally, she got done, and I got time getting ready to do it. She's like, I need to take a shit. And by the time you got around to everything, it was like 1:30 or so. And she's like, so even if you were washing up, you got stalled by her. It's like, I said, I think, and I told this in an email, I said, I think Chloe's jeopardizing wanting to leave too, but that's something my family would say. She'd sabotage everything if she could. And I agree now. I'm seeing it from a different light, but there's nothing I can do, I mean, literally, there's nothing that can be done, And so right now, I mean, advocates are like, to ride it out. Well, the adjuster basically said, if we can get this done, her mom can take over. Well, mom doesn't want to take over. What mom's trying to do is take command of the Social Security adjuster, the two advocates, trying to do everything she can to keep her kid in a current position. Saying to my advocates, quote unquote, they are social workers, therefore they need to take care of Chloe, right? Apparently, the advocate told me my therapist was looking for her. The therapist sent a message saying that the APS lady contacted her, checking in on me, and apparently the APS lady had an earful from Chloe's mom about basically wanting to use the APS lady to get Chloe in a mental hospital. I'm sorry, but the APS lady said it's not in my wheelhouse. I mean, literally, what the hell? I mean, you make a threat against the APS lady, you just look the other way. You make a threat against fucking... I mean, literally, to me, I can clearly see why my family thinks Chloe's clearly crazy. I mean, literally, everyone thinks I'm crazy, but you know what? The problem isn't about craziness. It's about doing your duty. And you do your duty, you get shot down for it. I'm not talking about anything in particular. I'm talking about, like the advocates are saying, you go and you report things like to the local sheriff. They don't do jack. They're like, are you okay, Chloe? You want us to take you up to the peace? Oh, no, okay, goodbye. I mean, literally, if I turned around and said something, they'd be hauling me up in handcuffs. I mean, like that one night. Not Peace, by the way. We're talking Samaritan almost 2 years ago, Mount Vernon. Moses Lake, sorry. I mean, literally. And then the other jokes going around is the state's Medicaid program wants to cut her off of the they don't want to they want to give her basic Medicaid, which means she gets basic medical for doctors. They don't want to do therapy because she's not doing therapy, so they think she needs basic, just like medication. So the letter basically said something about basic Medicaid. There's GA and GAU, and GAU I believe is government, or it's like GA is government assistance, and GAU is like government assisted something. So anyway, GA or GAU, I don't. Anyway, the second one is for the mental part, and they were like, you got basic Molina or something, which means we don't cover your. And I'm going. The guy's like, great. And I'm like, they're like, you're not using the mental side of things. So the lady goes, well, Chloe gets on disability. She'll be on Medicare anyway, so it doesn't matter. But, the point is the advocate is sad because she's like, I really want to get you into, set you up with this doctor and the medicine program and the fish for teeth. And I'm just like, look, one thing at a time. Let's focus on this problem first, But anyways, laundry's being done. Chloe's out to the store, like I said, she's picking up some groceries. Thank God she's out for a couple minutes. I mean, literally, I can actually explain, But yeah, I mean, without going into details, that, the whole ordeal with today was I mean literally my manager's my apartment manager's like, what triggered it? And I go, I actually looked at it, right, and I have a good working relationship with her. I said, Fleet Admiral to manager, may I speak freely with you? And she says, duly noted, go ahead. I said, for the record, ma'am, I have no fucking clue what triggered it. She says, must be the BPD rage I've been reading about. I go, yeah, it must be, because I don't know what. Got out of bed this morning. And I told her, a little narcissistic, basically wants me to get it washed up to go to this appointment. Then she dates the sink for 30 plus minutes. When I get in there, it's basically almost done, This is tearing, that's why. I think I got another spare one somewhere. Well, yeah, right here. So you guys aren't going to see me for a minute because you'll probably see my panties because, but my family saw me. My cousin, who I love dearly, gave me this jammy set. And I think she'd be ashamed that the bunny put a hole in this and thinned it out to the point where I have to change, and you get to see my panties, I think, because, there's a hole in my crotch in this one. Well, you don't get to see it that bad, so at least this one is completely covered, thin. So this one, it was bothering me, so, my family's like, gave me a spare one, but my other one, it's got holes in the knees, and I'm like, well, if you patch up the knees, I could still use them, put a new patch on an old garment. And Chloe's like, you're crazy. I'm like, well, sometimes you can't afford these things. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so basically the mom's trying to control things, and every time the mom doesn't get her way, she basically tries to cut people off, and the advocate was like, and the Social Security adjuster was like, and the Social Security adjuster, we were conversing about the, things, and they were saying the Medicaid thing is cut down to basic Medicaid, which means just for mental's not accounted because she's not using mental services, so they want to give her mental services, so it's like they cut her off, and because they think it's a giant joke, and she's been hospitalized 4 times and jumping from one clinic to the next, and it's just a big mess, and to me, I'm just like, it's like I said to in my previous video, I really don't give a shit. I like to talk about issues, because it's my channel, and people need to know that sometimes borderline people are harsh. I mean, literally the harshest people you're going to meet. I mean, literally. At one time, jokingly aside, I thought my family member had BPD because they told a story once about how they told their mom, says, well, I don't care if you die. I don't want anything to stay away from me, and, whatever. And it's like, sounded like kind of borderline, but, the thing is, my family was completely right. The one that I look up to like sister was completely fucking right. Now, I'm not basically stewing or being depressed or angry. I'm just sitting there, like today, I had some time by myself when I was going to the coffee shop. She's like, I'm going to leave for a while. I'm like, good. So I was thinking by myself, and I'm thinking, I should get some candy, and I picked this up, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, where has my life been, after Aaron died? And I'm like, it was just something on it. But yeah, I mean, literally, I could see where my family's coming from. Oh, you're stuck with her because no one wants her. And even the advocates are basically thinking that the only way to get rid of her is a restraining order. But, mom's like, that's going to offer super consequences. And the advocate's like, what super consequences? So it's okay. See, my advocate too said, it's I told advocate one, so it's okay for your daughter to go make threats against everyone on this island, threatening to destroy the island, threatening to destroy the hospital, threatening to destroy all this because she's angry, threatening to hurt people like Rita, threatening to hurt her family, threatening to do whatever she can. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, yeah, Advocate 1 was and 2 both agree, that I need Rita time, and I'm not getting it, and I made a mistake, Literally, I've said this many times. I made a mistake. Bringing her out was a big mistake, but her mom didn't hold her back either. Her mom just, found out later that she was on the train. She was upset. And then I met her mom on the video when Chloe went to the first hospitalization. She's like, again. And that's when I learned a lot of hospitalizations throughout the years during family reunions and other things. And I'm just like, learning all about these things. And even the advocates agree, when Chloe doesn't get her way, she throws a freaking temper tantrum, tears down people, threatens them, etc. And it's not a cool thing. I mean, literally. I mean, to me, I've done everything I can, but the advocates have their own inner circle they're working with to keep me safe, and some outlets like this, they're right on top of it. Unfortunately, law enforcement here thinks, well, she can't carry out, and what's she gonna do? Knife cops or knife people? I mean, that's all she could do. She could go, if she had money, she could buy a sword and then chop people up. I mean, that's all she could do. And, to them, that's just a sword. If they did it, but they don't even think Chloe's capable of doing anything except blow out steam and, get a person evicted, then run home to mommy with their thumb in her mouth going, Mama. And my cousin-in-law basically stated, don't trust her mom. Well, her mom her mom offered a ticket all because she didn't want to talk to the advocates. Then, hold on a sec. Then the second time she offered a ticket was getting her to Seattle.
Meatballs, but I got 4 things to sell. They didn't have any cherry Pepsi, so I got the regular Pepsi and then Ceramus or Sprite. We're gonna have salads tonight.
So, anyways, like I said, her mom made all these excuses, and
you want to get? So you want a whole box?
I always eat a whole box for
I'm
myself.
making a whole box too. Then yeah.
No meatballs. That's a sad day when they have no meatballs. So Chloe's saying she paid half of her bill, and so for her side, because last time I ended up buying all Santa's food, and I kind of so you're gonna have to find a way without that cage leaking too.
Yeah, I guess. I will figure it out. Okay.
Oh, made with real sugar. I love when she gets the real sugar ones, But thing is, like you said, that there were 2 for $6, and for some of you wondering what we're talking about, I sent her to buy me hers, and I bought my own, and mine was these. I'll get some more tomorrow, but this is what I buy: family size Salisbury steaks. You get 6 of them. I'll eat the whole damn thing. I'll be happy. So so she's gonna have to make room in the freezer. But anyways, is this one made with real sugar? Is this one the high fructose corn syrup? No, this is made with. This is the small one. This is a 20-ounce I drank last night while I was watching the Jesus movie. But anyway, so to cap this off, it was just funny. The advocates basically are really furious because, like I said, her mom's doing what her mom wants to do, and it's not good. And so the advocate said, what can they do? I mean, their job is to help me. Their job ain't to go pay a ticket for Chloe. That is not the resources they provide. And so, anyways, my little bunny's over there. He's just happy. So just make sure you don't put that over my computer. I don't want the tablet there, the one I'm using, it's propped up. I don't want it to.
Yes.
So Anyways, we got laundry. We got dinner to cook. We got to get this place clean tomorrow again. There you have it. Nothing to report. So, hopefully you're all good. I'm hoping my raviolis come in on Amazon soon. I bought a couple cases of raviolis, raviolas, as some would call it. My friend Mike would say that. I had raviolas or tortellonas. So, with that said, everyone, that's all you're going to hear from me tonight, Guild Wars, and I will update you all tomorrow with what's going on, etc., etc. And, I just want to say, I forgot to say it in the last video, so first of all, life is good. Please add, subscribe, please post comments, please leave feedback, suggestion, hit that like and subscribe button, so some fun even for the family. Hit that notification bell for new content. I update all the time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Captains log out. USS Excelsior, NCC 77246. This transmission ends now. Again, life is good.